go into your bed in a couple minutes.
He didn't find anything.
They must also take care not to dry out in the sun. Rolling in the ooze keeps the skin cool and moist. For this smaller species, a better option is to retreat underground. So he digs himself a tunnel down into the mud. His heap of spoil is an indication of the extent of his excavations. With the tide flooding the tunnel twice a day, maintenance is a real burden. The tunnel is more than a refuge from the sun. It serves another very important purpose. The tunnel is actually U-shaped, and at the far end is a sealed chamber, the walls of which are lined with eggs. The eggs are kept in air, as it's richer in oxygen than the water. The problem is the air that's trapped here won't last for long. So the male travels to the open end of the tunnel to gulp fresh.
Okay, so looking at this pelvis, you can just see that that left pelvis is more forward, kind of come on top. And then moving over to this one, it is quite obvious here, right there.
How to make ice cream in the 1890s. Step 1. Harvest ice blocks in the winter. Step 2. Store the ice blocks in your ice house. Cover with sawdust or straw for insulation. Step 3. Come back in the summer. Step 4. Break the ice blocks into smaller pieces. Step 5. Break those pieces into even smaller pieces. Step 6. Put the ice into your churn. Step 7. Put the ingredients into the churn. Step 8. Churn away until you get ice cream. Step 9. Serve and enjoy.
fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got
This is what a real banana looks like. Look at this. Look how tiny they are. Like a finger. You see? Smaller than my finger. But the most exciting thing about wild bananas is this. They are full of seeds. Not at all like your regular banana. The seeds are very crunchy, but it makes the flavor a little bit bitter. So you kind of don't want to crunch them. This is what a real banana looks like.
These two wheels are mounted on separate axles and supported by a frame, so that they can revolve freely at different speeds. Let's fasten a spoke on the inner end of each axle, so that by turning the spokes, we can turn each wheel separately. With a bar or crosspiece, we can turn both wheels in the same direction at the same rate of speed. Let's get something to hold this bar in place, so that it will press against the spokes. Notice that this support is not locked to the axle. It turns freely. Now, we can spin the wheels by rotating the support. This is fine, as long as both wheels are able to turn at the same speed. But, let's see what happens when we go around the corner. With this arrangement, we cannot drive one wheel faster than the other. And if we stop one wheel, the other wheel won't budge. Let's put this bar on a pivot, so that it can swing in either direction. Now, the bar can still turn both wheels at the same speed. And because it pivots, it lets one wheel turn even when the other is stopped. But if turned too far, the bar will swing around until it won't drive the spokes that turn either wheel. We need another crossbar and more spokes to carry on the job. When we stop one wheel, the crossbars will continue to push the spokes of the free wheel around. As long as both wheels are free to turn, the bars do not swing on their pivot, and the wheels move at the same speed. Now we have the working principles of a differential. To adapt the model for use in an automobile, we will have to make a few changes. In order to reduce the jerky action caused by wide spaces between the spokes, we will put in more spokes. Further filling in the spaces between the spokes gives steadier, more continuous action, and changing the shape gives firm, constant contact. Now we can make the gears thicker and stronger, and we have differential gears. The edges are cut so that they will fit together more smoothly and silently, and another gear is added to share the work of driving the axles. The principle is the same. In order to turn the support and drive the wheels, we can fasten a large gear here, connected by a smaller gear to a source of power. Notice that the power is connected to the differential at the center line. We can make our model more compact by moving the gears closer together. When we put our differential in an automobile, we have to leave room for the drive shaft, which carries the power from the engine. We may build the floor of the car above the drive shaft. But if we do, we won't have much room inside unless we make the top of the car high too. Of course, we could lower the floor and ceiling, but the drive shaft would be higher than the floor. This would have disadvantages. A shaft in the middle of the floor of an automobile would be inconvenient for passengers and would be awkward for carrying luggage. Today, engineers have found a way to make the car roomier and closer to the road without a clumsy shaft above the floor. The drive shaft from the engine to the differential is lowered out of the way, and the drive shaft is connected to the rear axle at the bottom. The new low center drive makes the rear axle quieter, stronger, and more durable because it gives better, smoother contact between the gears.
This is a good shot of the back guards.
As millions of sperm flood the reproductive tract, only a few hundred of them will even reach the area where the egg is. And typically, only one will actually make contact. After it penetrates, their genetic materials merge, forming a new cell called a zygote. The zygote divides multiple times as it travels down the fallopian tube towards the uterus. Now, a multicellular embryo implants itself in the lining of the uterus and begins to develop into a baby.
The male breathes by gulping air from the surface, and during the breeding season he uses that ability to build a raft of bubbles. Day after day he labours. A female
cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. I have no regrets, yeah, I'll tie up my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to be in debt. Been stabbed in the back bed, I'll show you what happens. Pass me the mic and I'll show you with action. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you could never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you could never own. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right and see life do what you want. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right.